Hello, impromptu Sunday investment chat. Didn't plan to, but I have nothing else going on today, and I said, why not? Since I do have some thing I want to talk about, so I did not expect that many people to pop in. Regardless, I can talk about my topic, and then people can watch it later. Oh, hello, good as gold. As always, all these Sunday comic investment chat will be loaded in the podcast Podbean later, so that you can always download the podcast and listen to it in your car or doing whatever you want to do without looking at my face. Plus, it use less bandwidth, right? For those that like to use podcasts or listen to podcasts doing whatever they're doing without having to watch a video. So, just a reminder for those that are not aware, every Sunday comic investment chat is transferred into a podcast later after I end the podcast and have time to convert the audio file. Okay, so hopefully, I'm sure people can hear me. Hello, Iconic Point and XXX. Hello. Um, I didn't plan to have this Sunday chat. I don't plan to have Sunday comic investment chat every Sunday. Just trying to readjust my mic. But after I load the video, the one where I show you I can sign a book on Comic Link, and how I said, hey, if you're looking to sell your books and you don't want to use eBay, Comic Link is a viable option, and sometimes it will yield a real good price above GPA, a record price for you. So you know there are some people out there that believe that everything on Comic Link is a steal. Not so, okay? Not so, not true. Thank you, XXX. But so after I load that video, I had a few discussion with people that talk about how some people hate eBay, um, and some people don't understand why eBay is so hated by many people. I know quite a few people that hate eBay, and I thought that the answer to that question is very relevant to the Sunday comic investment chat, because a lot of people that hate eBay hate it for a couple of reasons. Some hate it because they got scammed. Okay. Some hate it because they don't like the higher fees. Some hate it because they don't like the horrible graders, the people that sell books that you know can't grade, misrestoration, misrepresent themselves, as well as bad shippers. Okay, that all the reasons that I just listed are valid reason why somebody can hate eBay. Okay, so um, now have I been at the bad end of those transactions where I get bad shippers or people that sell restore books, or they're trying to scam me? I probably was at the bad end of all of those things. For those that don't know, okay, I talked about this 6 years ago when I was first on YouTube. I was scammed out of $5,000 way back in 2003. Yes, in 2003. I bought an X-Men 1, a slab X-Men 1. I believe it was an 8.0. And I received an empty box. I even paid insurance. Okay. I bought the book, I paid shipping and insurance. The box arrived, it was empty. Now, mind you, back in 2003, PayPal is not owned by eBay. So it was an option to pay. with PayPal. So I had it shipped UPS. I bought insurance. So when the box arrived empty, to my horror, I told this story on a few videos. So if you go way back 6 years ago, you see the horror story on eBay, and I make a long video about it. Needless to say, I got scammed and I lost my case with all three entities: eBay, UPS, as well as PayPal rule against me because they said that I was the one lying. The box was not empty. I was the one lying. Okay. That chased me away from eBay. That literally ended my love for comic books from 2003 to 2008. There was a 5 year span that I said, no more, can't take this anymore, hate this hobby, hate eBay, put my stuff in the closet and said, bye bye. Okay. So, yeah, that's the short of the story. Well, iconic point in hindsight, I could have proved it. Back then I was you're talking 2003, so you're talking 16 years ago. The case is long gone. I'm sure if an attorney out there that can, it's $5,000. Is it even worth the fight anymore? Uh, Hello, who that? The thing is, I could have proved it. Okay, in hindsight, I could have proved it because the weight of the box was nowhere near any. It was empty. So if UPS have any kind of, you know, I don't have the box anymore. I don't have the label anymore. So it's no way for me to know. But I'm pretty sure if the person bring it to UPS and weigh it, it's gonna weigh like 6 ounces, not 2 pound, like as if the book is inside. Okay, so yeah, in hindsight, I look back and I'm just like, gee, there was a lot of things that I could approve to UPS and PayPal and all that, but at the time, they they said that I was lying, and there's absolutely nothing I could do. It was painful. It was a painful thing. Sure, back in 2003, I was making big money. So, you know, the long and short of it is before I call it quit, I did buy another copy and then call it quit. And that copy I sold later for a lot more. I sold that copy I bought another copy, another 8.0. Hello, Felix. And I sold that copy in 2009 for a lot more. So the profit from that book more than enough to recoup the 5,000 I got scammed. So net, it was not, it was a horrible situation regardless. But net, out of my pocket, it was not that painful. Um, but I returned to eBay in 2008. Okay. And that is the main topic of this Sunday comic investment chat is that, like any investment, I'm a stock trader. I have been a stock trader for many decades. And I can tell you, I make bad trades here and there. I have made trade that lost me tens of thousands of dollars. And I have made trades that made me godly amount of money. If I was to throw up my hands after one bad trade, after I lost, $20,000 in one bad trade, I would have left the stock trading um, hobby years and years, if not decades ago. It's it's part of the game that I understand. Now, that's not part of the game in comic books. Okay, you don't buy comic books hoping to get scammed out of everything. But there are a similarity to the situation where whether it's investing in buying comic books, or buying stocks, or buying real estate, for anyone that have been in any of those fields long enough, you will have bad deals. I don't know anyone that, well, maybe there are, but I don't know anyone that can claim that they make great deals on every real estate flip. They may have bought, they may have been successful in flipping real estate until 2007, 2008, and then they probably get bit in the ass at least once or twice when the real estate market crashed in 2008, 2009, right? Well, the real estate market crash started in 2007. In Florida, it started in 2006. But then I think by 2007, pretty much everywhere else in the country. So if you bought and speculate in real estate, in flipping real estate in 2007, most likely you get your ass handed to you at least once or twice. So even the most savvy, long time realtors out there will tell you you can't win all the time. And I think that plays in with comic books. Okay. Hello, Eugene, and eBay. Sure, I got kicked real hard. Okay, nobody will dispute that what happened to me in 2003 is one of the worst case that happened to any collectors. Okay, I'm sure there are worst case, but how many people you know get scammed out of $5,000 on eBay and lost as far as a case with eBay because they didn't believe that I was scammed. These days, there are people that are falling for the scams um, from China, and I'm sure they get their money back after they had to go through the hassle of filing a claim and calling the credit card company and all that. So, yeah. So, for me, my advice to those that hate eBay because they got scammed or they dealt with bad sellers, it happens. You see me opening poorly packaged from eBay, damaged books and all that. It happens. But you know, if I buy 10 things from eBay and one turn out to be not a so good deal because either the book was restored or the book was damaged from bad shipping, I can return it. So yeah, it's a little bit of hassle to have to contact um, the sellers and say, hey, bad news. And it doesn't matter if the seller said returns are not accepted. Every time that I have bought from somebody that say returns are not accepted, I understand the risk that I'm taking. I also understand that if the books arrive poorly packaged, damaged, easy peasy as far as returning it. They can't fight it. And even if they want to fight it, just like my most recent case, for those that follow my bad eBay experience, that seller had no return policy. Okay. But he used the same pictures in two separate listings, claiming two separate books. And guess what? A little hassle, but I return. And for some people, I understand it's a hassle. I hate that. I don't want to deal with that. That's why I hate eBay. I'm not going to deal with eBay. Yes, I heard that from a lot of people. But at the same time, if you follow my channel, you saw what I have, you saw what I buy, you saw what I flip. Guess what? Most of it came from eBay. So I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convince you to use eBay because trust me, the less people out there returning to eBay, the less competition there is for me. More for me. I win. More winnings here. So it's not as if like I'm trying hard to convince people to return to eBay. I'm just telling you that for those that understand that, it's part of the game, it's just because something bad happened, you don't have to give it up. I think that's the message that I'm trying to say. I make plenty of bad trades in stock, and I learned that that's part of the game. That's part of the stock trading world. Okay, nobody's gonna make successful trades every time. It's similar, but not exactly the same because in comic books, yes, you don't expect bad things to happen, but part of the game in comic books investing is learning to grade, learning to spot scams, learning to avoid them, right? I can't say enough about, you know, how a lot of people, a lot of seasoned people, people that have been in this hobby for years, if not decades, keep falling for the scams because the deals are too good to say F you. Okay. I can't say enough. I mean, there's many times when I talk about scams, and sure enough, somebody will say, "What's the big deal? You can always file a claim and get your money back if the deal is a scam." If you follow my channel long enough, you heard me say, "Why step into the poop if you know there's a poop right there?" Right? If you see poop on the ground, do you want to step in it and then have to spend time and wipe off your shoes later? If you see an obvious scam, Hook 181 from China for 79.95, is this your lucky day? Why are you even bother clicking on that buy it now and hoping hoping for what? I don't get it. So part of the mentality of like, I hate eBay because I got scammed. Well, let's step back of the scam. Is it your fault? If it is your fault that you step on the poop, then learn from the bad lesson, learn from that mistake, and it's not it's not eBay, it's you. um Hello, right, Raya fella. Thank you for enjoying the channel. Sif 13 Lord. Hello, Eugene. Hello, comic collector. Is eBay partially responsible for the rise in comic book price? No way to tell. That's a kind of statement that I would say poo poo. Okay. That's like saying, is Slab responsible for the rise of comic book price? Slab has more truth to that statement as far as the rise to comic book price than eBay. eBay exists long before Slabs. eBay been around since 1998. eBay is open market. Is eBay responsible for the rise in comic book price? No. There are many things that are responsible for comic book price, and eBay is not the reason. Uh, I can name a couple of reasons right there. I'd say Slabs is one of them. People that hype stuff and people that bought the hypes. Okay, that's the key. The key is if people don't believe the hypes, don't fall for the hypes, price don't go up. Okay, price go up for one thing: people willing to pay up. Okay, so eBay is not forcing anyone, enticing anyone, goading anyone into paying more for anything. So yes, flush that. eBay is responsible for anything as far as price. Okay, it's not. It's the people that hyping, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, and the people that are falling for the hypes. They are responsible for the market. eBay is just a marketplace that provide a place to exchange. Uh, Iconic Point say, I use eBay to try to see how close the book I am buying is close to market value. There's many ways to use eBay. I look at eBay to see what um, the general prices are. I mean, especially on raw books. It's hard to gauge the kind of demand or the kind of price that you can realize. And so eBay is very useful in looking at past transaction more so than what is currently listed. There's nothing worse than look at things that are listed and think that's the price. Do not quote asking price on eBay. Okay, whenever I have anyone that try to sell me something, and um, they're trying to justify the price because the current asking price of a bunch of listing on eBay is so and so. I'm saying, what does that have to do with what I'm willing to pay you? Just because someone listed those books at those asking price, you can ask, and you can put your books up there just like all the other sellers on eBay, and it will sit there, right? So I don't care what the asking price is on eBay. That's not what I'm willing to pay. Good is gold. My answer to your point is still nay. It has nothing to do with rising costs. Okay, it's the option of selling on eBay or selling on YouTube or Instagram or anything else. It's if anything, eBay for years hurt the market more than helped the market. Think about it. You are focusing on keys where it is hot. eBay has turned the comic market upside down for non-keys. If you non-keys before eBay was sold at stores and convention with the comic price guide. People are leaking out the comic price guide, the overstreet guide, to trying to justify a low to mid-grade non-key based on what the price guides say. Well, guess what? Have you seen what low to mid-grade non-keys books, whether it's silver age or bronze or copper, are sold on eBay? What percentage of that is based on anywhere near overstreet price guide? None, right? None. It's if anything, it make the market more efficient. It make the market reflect the truer or the more closer demand and supplies. I mean, overstreet value has been destroyed, completely destroyed on a low end. Forget the keys. The keys are a different story. The key is the opposite. You're looking at the opposite end of the issue. Okay, you are focusing on what you want to focus on. This is where your argument is flawed, okay? Because you're talking about how eBay can raising costs. What about destroying the value of low to mid-grade non-keys? Let's talk about that. You want to talk about how eBay has raised the cost of anything there? It doesn't. It doesn't. None whatsoever. So look at the issue on both ends and see if you have any valid opinion when it comes to like, hey, it's raising the cost of the hobby. No, it doesn't. If anything, the hobby is cheaper than ever for non-keys collector. If you are a completist, you are in the golden age of being a completist because so many people are dumping non-keys books for cheap, dirt cheap. You can get silver age, mid-grade, low grade Marvel for a few bucks compared to what Overstreet is saying. Take a look. You can pick any titles like Thor, Journey into Mystery. My God, you can pick up 3.0, 4.0, Journey into Mystery, Silver Age books for dirt cheap, dirt cheap. Okay, it's not like I said. There are books that eBay facilitate, provide. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't get into the I don't buy into any argument that eBay is the reason books are going up. None whatsoever. Hello, who dat and Immortal Biggie Shack. But back to the main topic, right? It's just like, to me, I look at eBay as, a venue to buy stuff. And I understand there are risks in buying from eBay. I also use a lot of my common sense to avoid the risk for the most part. Sure, I have bought stuff from eBay in the past 2 or 3 years that have restoration that I return them. And my advice to those that want to do the same thing that I have been doing is that learn how to grade, learn how to spot restoration. It's I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of people that refuse to learn how to grade. What do you tell those people? I mean, did anybody teach me on how to grade? Did I use eBay to learn? Did anyone teach me how to spot restoration? No, it's all about me. I help myself. So I can't stress enough that you should, um, I didn't get here from asking for help from a lot of people. Somebody is selling an X-Men 6 iconic point. Say I picked an X-Men 6 for a steal yesterday. Hey, I have a I said this on my channel multiple times. Okay, I can spend half an hour on eBay and find a few things that I can make money on. It is that easy for me, and so I'm not in the. I understand, like I said already in the early part of this chat, that there are people that hate eBay, and you know my advice to those that like eBay like me, hey, that's a good thing for us. Okay, less competition. So whenever I see someone that say I hate eBay, I said, okay, that's fine. I don't fault them from hating eBay because they have bad experiences. I can only tell people that I had my share of bad experiences and I move on. Just like stock trading, I had my share of bad trade and I learned to just go on and move on because I don't I don't skip opportunities to make money. Just as someone asked me, I think last week, what else do I collect? And I said very bluntly, I like to collect comic books, but I also like to collect money because really, without money, can anybody collect comic books or anything else? Okay, collecting comic books is far down the list of importance. It's not essential. It's non-essential whatsoever. Okay, so let's make it very clear. Collecting comic book is non-essential. There's a lot of things that are more important in life than comic books. So when it comes down to collecting money rank a hell of a lot higher than comic books because without money, how about food? How about the daily lives? Food, TV, cable, internet, phone, gas for trust me. Anyone that get offended with the statement that I like to collect money is you know how I roll here is a freaking moron. Like, because I'm just saying bluntly the way life is. Do you know that many homeless people that collect comic books? Yeah, how many? It's so silly. It's idiotic for people to be offended. He collect money. He like to collect money. Oh, where do we live? Cuba? Communist? Do we live in a communist country? It's called capitalism. Thank you, man cave. Man cave said, "Hello, make your advice is always high grade." Well, I try to give out good advice. That's all I can do. I'm blunt and honest as I can be. Indeed, my friend. Indeed, indeed. Brushing it off. No, it's. I know I offended of a listener or viewer here and there when I talk about selling comic books because oh my god, every video that I talk about profits and selling books and flipping books, I'm sure I offended a bunch of people because there are a few, if not many people in this hobby that have this romantic belief that this hobby is, you're preserving something for the aliens. When they come to Earth, the aliens gonna come to Earth, they're gonna see, oh my God, these people, they produce some kind of magical paper with colors in it, and they have these people that have powers that can. It's paper, for God's sake. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's paper. Let's get real, okay? You're not, and there are zillions of these things around, okay? You're not preserving for the next 50 generation. This is not the Declaration of Independence or the Magna Carta, okay? It's a lot of stuff that people are way over obsessed with comic books. It's fun. I enjoy a lot. I enjoy collecting it. I enjoy selling it. I enjoy. There are plenty of things in my collection that are not worth a heck of a lot of money. You see, when I start selling, auctioning off in the fall. For those that ask and wonder and did not pay attention to what I said before, I plan to start auctioning off a bunch of books every month from my personal collection in October. Mid October, okay, would be the time frame where I want to start. So once a month, maybe 20 or 25 books from my personal collection. Some could be super high grades, some could be low grades, but there are things that I consider keepers in my collection. So going forward from October onward, assuming there are demands for these things, heck, if I run an auction and nobody shows up to bid on these things, then I will stop doing them, right? At the end of the day, it's like not everything I own are desirable. So it's not like I'm gonna, run auction and assume that people will buy my stuff and pay. So all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. I will start out in October, and if things go well, it's gonna be a monthly thing where every mid months they will see an auction of 20 to 25 books. My goal is in my last check. My exit goal is to get rid of about 2,000 or so books in the next 7 years. So you do the math. 2,000 divided by 7 months, 7 years. You guess how many books will go out each month. Okay. Man Cave Comics said people are so easily offended. Absolutely. The internet, social media has made people very soft. Okay. Because most people use social media to lash out at people that share different opinions. The moment people hear something that they disagree, it's just like the intolerance of people now are at the highest. And I'm not sure if that trend is going to change because that's what social media is, with Instagram, with Twitter, with YouTube, with Facebook. It just, it's silly. That's why I don't like to use a lot of social media because I'm not a big fan of everyone getting all riled up. Um, it's just not me. A lot of people enjoy that. Okay, obviously, a lot of people enjoy social media, or it wouldn't be so popular. So count me in as a minority that say "f you" to most social media because I can't take it. I back off Facebook and Instagram and Twitter for the most part. It's not for me. I use it very minimum, very minimum. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, barely, barely. Hello, Christopher Joy. It is, a lot of books, a lot of people. This is where I think you see a lot of younger, newer collectors that buy a lot of brand new stuff. They spend crazy money. Even if you get some kind of discount from your pull list at your LCS, you're still paying $3 or more, right, per book. And when I see newer, younger collector that have a bunch of short boxes of modern books and they basically selling for cheap, pennies on a dollar, this you know, it's not it's not a bad thing when that happened if they realize it early. There's a lot of people that came into this hobby and within a year they are gone. Okay, there's many. It's not that many that stay in this hobby for 10 years and say that's it, I'm gone. But I think you see more people that jump in this hobby and then disappear in less than a year. Look at YouTube. I have seen countless channels came and go. Countless channel in the last 6 years came and disappear. And it's mostly newer people, younger people. Okay. Not every newer collectors are 30 something or 40 something, but many younger collectors that start YouTube are more so in their 20s or early 30s, and they seem to come and went pretty quickly. Um, but it's that's the state of the hobby. And is it a bad thing? Not really. To me, it's better for those people to realize that this is not for them and move on to do something else. It's no need to waste your money here. At the end of the day, it's nothing wise about buying something for $3 or $4 and then sell it for 25 cents. Nothing wise about that. I wouldn't advise anyone to do that with their money. Okay. If you find movies and the superheroes romantic and cool and all that stuff, and then 6 months after you start buying a bunch of books, you get bored of it, then leave. It's not a bad thing that you decided to go, because if you don't, you're going to have more stuff in your closet later that you waste a lot of money on. Use your money for something more enjoyable. Not everybody enjoy comic books, not everyone obsessed. Just like stock trading. you know I know a lot of people that want to jump into stock trading because they heard it can be profitable, they heard you can make money, they heard it's fun, and then they find out real quickly. I have many people approach me, Nick, show me how to trade stocks. I want, I want to invest, I want to trade, I want to do this, and then 3 months later, no, it's not for me. I can't handle the stress. I can't handle losing money. Right away, every time someone approach me and ask if that tell me, Nick, I want to get into stock trading. I want to learn to trade stock. I want to participate in a stock market. The very first thing I ask is, how do you handle losing money? Can you? Can you sleep at night if you lost $1,000? Can you sleep at night if you lose $2,000, 5,000? Can you? If your answer is no, I can't handle losing $500 at the casino, no, it's not for you, because I guarantee you, sooner or later, you will lose a lot in the market. Okay. You might make a lot, but there will be days where you will lose a lot. And if you can't handle that, don't play in the fire. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of channel. An iconic point made that there's a lot of hot books from 2 years ago that already do it in dollar bins. And there's a lot of books that people talk about 2 years ago. If I have been on YouTube and I pay attention to what was going on 2 years or 3 years ago. Look at all the channels that was talking about all the hot variant, this and that. Are those channels still talking about hot variants here? It's not. Most of them, not all of them, has stopped, but many of those channels that used to pump and hype up hot variant, and hot modern books, this and that, they have stopped for the most part. They still might be in the hobby, but they don't have weekly discussion on what's hot this week, right? It's the good thing. The good thing is people learn. Okay. In this hobby, not many people will keep doing the wrong thing. There are people out there that maybe have a lot of money that don't care, don't care one bit what they buy, what they bought is gonna be dollar bin, quarter bin 3 years from now. They don't care. They are so addicted to this stuff that they don't care. Okay. There are people like that. Some can afford it and some can't. But there are people that sooner or later they say, the heck with this. This is a waste of my money. There's a lot of sensible people that will wake up eventually. Eventually, it could be 6 months, a year, or 2 years later, but they will wake up. You know who wake up fastest? You know who wake up the fastest when it comes down to like stop playing the hard spec game? People that sell something at a loss. That usually is a big wake up call. You know, the thing is, a lot of people buy stuff, they hoard stuff, and then they go into the delusional trance of just like, I'm making money, right? I'm not losing money until they decide to sell something, and then they find out that what they thought is worth X dollar can only fetch X dollar now in the open market. That is usually the big wake up call for a lot of people. Is that when you buy and buy and buy and buy, you are in this delusional place that what you did is the right thing to do and what you bought is worth X amount of money, right? Because someone told you it's worth this much, someone predicted this is going to be worth this much. And then the moment that you're trying to sell something and you're getting a heck of a lot less, that's my hunch. That's my observation. I could be wrong, but I would like to hear from those people that went through that wake up call. Okay. What was it that you said to yourself? Maybe this is not a good thing to do. I'm pretty sure I guessed it right as far as why they changed from playing in the hot variant, hot spec area. Is that once they start to sell things and realize that no one is buying or they get a lot less, they change the stance. Who dads ask, do you find it better to find deals on eBay on holidays? Who dads? I can tell you, I buy all year round. In fact, I bought two yesterday. So for me, I find deals year round. Okay, year round, I find deals on eBay. I'm one of those buys on eBay, and I'm honest about this. I buy all the time. I buy every month, not every week, but every month I buy. Um, so there is really not something that I think any given time is a good time or bad time. Just like stock trading, you know, the stock market has its season. For those that follow the stock market, there are seasons that tell you how the market will behave. Like the market tend to behave very well in December. The market tend to behave less well in the summer. There are good times and bad times in the stock market, just as there are good times and bad times to buy on eBay. I'm sure there is. But for those that trade stock actively, there's always opportunities to make money in the stock market on any given day. Just like on eBay, I can find deals on eBay any given day. Pick the day, I find it. Okay. Um, so there is no good time or bad time for me on eBay. There's always something to buy that I can flip for a profit if I want to. A lot of time when I don't buy something for a week or two, it's more because I just don't feel like buying. Sometimes I buy so much that I'm just sitting there with, a pile of boxes and stuff. I'm just like, I need to sell. I sell as fast as I can, but I don't want to be like burdened with too many books. Too much winnings here. You don't have to buy. I don't have to buy and sell a lot to make a lot of this. It's 10. It's 11:04. So the chat will end in roughly 10 minutes because I started late. I started at like 10:16 this morning. So in about 11 or 12 minutes will be the end. Uh, Iconic Point said that I like hot variants because they are beautiful. I'm trying to make a nice wall like you have. They are nick with those version variants. um, it's nothing wrong with collecting beautiful covers. Okay. Um, as long as you understand that, don't go out there and chase the hot variants at the high point of the price. I think most people that understand hot variants know that what's hot right away will cool off eventually. So if you're willing to buy something, um, wait a few weeks, even a few months, you'll get it a lot cheaper than you can imagine. Impatience is the worst enemy of this hobby. Hello, Comic Crack. Okay, when it comes down to like people talking about it's an early point of this chat. Is eBay a problem? You know what's the biggest problem for many people, if not almost everyone in this hobby? It's ourself impatience. We are our own worst enemy when it comes to this hobby because even everybody here in the chat room will agree that even on like hot variant, if you're willing to wait 2 weeks or 2 months, you get it cheap, right? Cheaper, a lot cheaper sometimes. Yet some people cannot, cannot, cannot wait. They got to have it because they need to have that damn book to show off on Instagram. Holy crap, it's stupid. Okay, it's just like, really, you're willing to pay 50 for that book right now because you need to have those hearts on Instagram tomorrow. Really, this hobby is about how many hearts you can collect on Instagram. Wake the f up. Okay, because that same book in 3 weeks or 3 months will be $20. You can use the $30 saving and go get yourself a nice dinner. It's so, trust me, eBay is not the problem. People themselves are the problem. Okay, it's just impatient nonsense. It's just like all this got to have this, got to have that, got to have nothing. It's freaking comic books. Wake up. Yes, fear of missing out, as some people would shorten it to FOMO. There is no FOMO in this hobby. Come on, people. It's, you know, it's easy. Well, it's easier for me to deal with FOMO as a stock trader. Okay, as a stock trader, there are plenty of situations on a daily basis that I missed out. I might see a stock that I want to buy yesterday, and I said to myself, "Oh, I like to buy that stock right now, but the market is closed. So when it's open, I will buy." And guess what? The next day, it opened higher and went much higher, so I miss out. But my lack of FOMO in a stock market trading game applies here. In that, there are so many books to chase. There are so many books to buy. There are so many books to flip. If something, if I miss out on something, no big deal. Move on to a different book. Just like stocks, I follow about 50 to 60 stocks, and there's always an opportunity to buy one of them to make money that day. So it's not about, oh man, I can't stress enough that, I'm beating a dead horse here. Impatient is the collector worst enemy. Not the market, not eBay, not slabs, not any of that stuff. It's yourself. You got to learn to stop rushing yourself as if this is a must have. Nothing. This hobby is fun. Nothing here is essential. It's not providing air or water or food or even sex. Okay. It provides none of that. So I don't know what it is that people think comic book is, but to me, it is none of the above. None. None. Ooh, Marvel Comic Present number six. Brush me up on what that book is. Marvel Comic Present number six. Ah, it's a copper book, right? Is that some kind of like first appearances of like some obscure character? If it is, run, run far away. Iconic Point asks, which sector do you look at when you're investing in stock? Oh, Wolverine's daughter. Oh God. Oh God, no. There is no long-term anything there. My advice is if you can make money flipping it, do it. Do it until it's this is the same saying that stock trader will tell you. You trade a stock until it stops working. There's stocks. For those active trading, there are stocks that you seem to be able to buy high, buy low, sell high, or buy high and sell higher. There are stocks that seem to work so well for a particular trader. Like for me, there are stocks that I seem to be able to keep coming back over and over and over again over the many years that make me profit every time I make the trade in that. And then eventually it stopped. Usually when it stopped working, you move on to a different stock. So if you can make money on Wolverine's daughter first appearances, keep flipping it until it stopped working. When it stopped working, it's gone. It's done. Move on. To answer the question on what sector do I trade, all sectors. Okay, all sectors. I have friends that know more about certain sectors than I do. So whenever I trade a certain sectors that I don't know very well, I ask for their help. What do you think about this? What's your opinion here and there? I do that, So, but for me, um, I'm into banking. I'm into technology. I'm into retail, energy. You name it, medicine, pharmaceutical. You name it. I don't shy away from any sectors. I'm attracted to any sectors that I see opportunities for this. It's a common theme here, right? I'm attracted to money. uh, Alrighty. Chat will be over within 5 minutes, so I will try to wrap up everything. Wobbles, hello Wobbles and Jariz 300, comic book genius. Okay, there you go. Hello. Let's see. Would you guys trade a Spider-Man 41 for Batman 234? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would rather have Spider-Man 41 because of the Rhino, right? And because of the potential, I think Rhino will definitely return to the Spidey universe and potentially be in the Sinister Six movie and all that stuff. So I think the potential is there more so than Two Face. I just don't believe you will see Two Face in any movies. Well, even if he's in, he's not gonna have the kind of longevity that say Rhino would have should he be part of a franchise, the Sinister Six. Just saying. This is just my 2 cents on the hot speculation market. Personally, you know my saying, right? You know my saying, own both, be done. I don't debate what book to own. Flip enough books to get enough money, then own both. That's my advice. But that's how I do things. That's how I roll here. Um, Nick, are you still on Instagram? If you need, many people do this. I don't. I'm not on Instagram. I have Instagram on my phone, which is not even on my desk here. But I log into Instagram not even once a day, maybe once a week. And so if you contact me through Instagram, don't expect me to reply right away. As I have mentioned to many people, if you want me to help you create a book, send me a link from eBay to my email, which is etanick@gmail.com, or email me the picture directly. People that email me directly get fast answers, sometimes in seconds. Yes, many will testify that when they ask me for grading help, I reply in seconds. But email me the pictures. F Instagram, please. That's my view on Instagram. F it. Okay. I will occasionally visit Instagram to list a book to get a bunch of hearts, useless hearts that no one will offer to buy, is in all the cases so far. I don't even know why I bother to list my books on Instagram, because does 40 hearts equal a nickel? No. Okay, so no, waste of time. Anyhow, it's time for me to say goodbye. It's been an hour, enough yapping for me. Um, like I said earlier, I did not plan to have this chat, but I thought it was a valid point to talk about, as far as liking eBay or hating eBay and going back to eBay. Okay, it's just like, my advice to those that had a bad experience on eBay is that if you have a bad experience, learn from it and take advantage of what eBay can offer. Trust me, if you don't come back to eBay, more for me. Okay, I'm not here to convince you to go back to eBay. I'm here to tell you that I learned to look over the flaws of eBay, learn to adapt on how to use eBay. First and foremost, it is about learning to grade, learning to spot restoration, learning to avoid bad sellers, learning to avoid scams. There are many things that you can help yourself and take advantage of what eBay has to offer. Uh, and that's it, my friend. Um, yeah, like I said, you know, um, I understand those that love Instagram, because people wouldn't go to Instagram if it wasn't for the hearts, right? Um, and I understand, but I can just tell you, for me, it bring me nothing. Okay, nothing. I don't care for the hearts. I care for this. Okay, that's it. I don't care for the hearts. uh, hearts bring me nothing. The only hearts that matters to me is my wife and my son. Period. End of discussion. That's it. Time for me to say goodbye. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm sure my son is gonna expect me to cook bacon, eggs, and toast and all the yummy stuff for Sunday brunch. So enjoy. Watch the soccer. I know I will. Can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Go watch soccer. Eat your breakfast. Eat your bacon and eggs. See you next time. Not sure when. See you next time. Bye bye.